Artlist.io.
Peace, everybody. Welcome back to another Partake Talks. Or should I say, welcome back to another thought exercise. I like that. I think I'm going to start calling these thought exercises.
Artlist.
And the reason I say that, right, because I want to preference this by saying your thoughts are your currency. Huh? Your thoughts are your currency. Yeah, your thoughts are your currency. Your thoughts and the patterns in which you think are the things
Music
that
licensing reimagined
are currencies. And I'm not just talking about money, right? Like tangible things. But I'm talking about those thoughts that you have, the thoughts that we have are connectors, are puzzle pieces, are things that allow us and help us to come to a bigger and brighter and broader conclusion as to what it is that we are trying to manifest or materialize, right, in the physical. So our thoughts are really powerful. And the one thing that I believe is our thoughts are being controlled in a sense. And I think this is important to say because if you don't know how you're being manipulated, then you will always be under the control of someone else, right? So you got to understand that which thoughts are yours. You got to understand how you're thinking, what you're thinking about, and how it's playing an effect on your daily life, right? But that's the whole preference of this video. Your thoughts are your currency. So, what I usually tend to do throughout the week, I have notes that I take on a daily basis, and I note them as thought exercises because I get thoughts during random hours of the day, and sometimes it could be if I'm having a conversation with somebody and I have an epiphany. Or if I'm listening to a podcast, or if I'm reading a book, I have these thoughts and these epiphanies, right? And I'm like, ooh, that's a good one. And then I just write it down, right? And I really meditate on that thought to see what is it that this thought is trying to tell me, right? And that's why I wanted to preference this as thought exercise, and also by saying your thoughts are your currency. Because literally, your thoughts are literally just indicators that something new has been unlocked, right? If you're somebody who likes to read, if you're somebody who likes to study and discover new ideas, right? You unlock certain things in your mind, right? You unlock certain nuances that you probably didn't know about at one point until you started really reading something that made you get a different outlook or a different perspective on life. And it's like, you know what? I never looked at it that way, you know? And that's why I like doing these videos, because these are literally just keys to help you unlock new thought patterns or new ways of thinking, right?
Music licensing.
And I think that's just so important to understand that all of our thoughts are literally indicators letting us know where we are in our lives, right? And I got a couple of notes here that I'm just going to share with you, right? And I like to look at thoughts as equations, right? I like to look at thoughts as equations. And one of the equations that I came up with is learning plus sharing equals impression, right? Learning plus sharing equals impression equals retention. When you learn something, right? When you learn something, for me, this is what has helped me along my journey.
Reimagined.
When I learn something, a like to share what it is that I've learned, because when I learn something new and I'm able to share it and I'm able to speak on it, right? Then it leaves an impression on me, which means it sticks with me, which means it becomes a part of who I am. And that creates retention. And that allows me to retain that information, so at any point in time I can recall that information that I learned. And I think this is so important when it comes to learning, right? I feel like a lot of us learn things, but we don't share the things that we learn. And therefore it just gets stored as extra data in our minds, and we never use that data again. We never use that knowledge again. So the equation I came up with is learning plus sharing
Music
equals impression
licensing
equals retention.
reimagined.
So if you can learn something and share it with somebody else, then you're able to retain it better. And not only that, this also allows you to leave a blueprint for others to follow. And even for yourself sometimes, because this can be a print or a dot in time to let you know where you were during that time, that moment in time. So maybe 10 years from now, I can look back on this video and say, oh, okay, I know where I was during that time. And maybe this thought form doesn't resonate with who I am 10 years from now. But these are stepping stones. These are stepping stones, right? All of these things that I do, all of the things that I share are literally just stepping stones helping to get to the next level. And a lot of people get so caught up in their thoughts, right? That they stagnate themselves because they think that whatever it is that they're doing, hear me, they think that whatever it is that they're doing isn't sufficient enough to put them in position for where it is that they desire to be. And that could be the furthest thing from the truth. Our thoughts are powerful. Our thoughts can uplift us, but our thoughts can hinder us as well. So you have to be mindful about the thoughts that you are thinking on a continuous basis. You have to be mindful of the information that you are taking in on a continuous basis, right? We need to have different modes for different aspects of our lives. We need a mode where we are learning, where we are studying, where we are focused, where we are intentional. We need modes where we are teaching, where we are implementing, where we are applying, where we are sharing and expressing what it is that we are learning, what it is that we are becoming, right? And then there's a mode where you're relaxing, where you're enjoying the fruits of your labor, right? Where you're just soaking in all of the good energy around you. And then there's another aspect of you where you like to party, where you like to have a good time, where you like the high energy, the high vibration, or high frequencies, right? And these are just some aspects that I came up with, right? And as I was thinking through these thought processes, I feel like everybody has different modes, and some people are stuck in certain modes. Like some people are stuck in the party mode. All they want to do is party, have fun, turn up, have a good time. But you can't always be in that mode when there's a different area of your life that requires you to be focused, that requires you to be intentional about what it is that you're doing. And you need to be able to phase out and phase in to these different modes in your life. Right now, I'm in the mode of teaching. I'm in the mode of sharing. I'm in the mode of expressing, right? And giving you the information that has helped me along my journey. This is just the mode that I'm in. I'm not learning anything right now, right? I'm not taking in any new information right now. I'm just expressing the old information that I have already obtained. So that way I can make room for the new information. See, this is how all the modes work together. You have the mode where you're learning, where you're intentional, where you're focused, and then you have this mode right here where you're expressing, where you're sharing, where you're teaching. And this opens up more space for you to learn in the first mode. So mode 1, mode 2 coincide with each other. Mode 3 is literally giving your brain a break. Because you're absorbing information and you're putting out information and you're absorbing information and you're putting out information. That is a lot for the brain to do. Even though the brain is a hard-working machine, you still need to give it a break, right? Because you can find yourself stuck in these levels, right? But you're not enjoying the life. You're not enjoying your life. So you have to be able to give your mind, your soul, your spirit, your body. You need to be able to give those things breaks and enjoy your life. Enjoy the things that are happening for you. And then You need that energy where you need to just turn up, have a good time, right? With the people around you. You need that high energy, that high frequency, right? Because it puts you in a state of almost like being a child again. Because you're having fun. You're not worried about the future, the past. You're just enjoying the present. You're not worried about anything else. And that kind of goes into the 3 and 4 modes, right? So these modes right here help you to relax the mind, the body, the spirit. And this allows you to raise the frequency within you as well, right? Mode 4 allows you to raise the frequency within yourself. So all of these things play a major factor in your life, and you need to learn how to phase in and out of each one of these modes. These are the things that are going to help you to become a greater version of yourself, and also help you to help others to become greater versions of themselves as well. If that's the mission that you're on. That's the mission I'm on. So these are the things that help me to become better, right?
Music licensing
I am just an expression
reimagined.
on it, an extension of who you are. I am another you. I am another you, and you are another me. I am another you, and you are another me, right? So, moving on to my next equation, right? First off, right, before I move on, I must also say this. We must cultivate more curiosity.
Artlist.io.
We must cultivate more curiosity in our lives. And here's why I say that. I was listening to one of my mentors speak, and he was saying how the systems that we were once a part of, how they kind of taken the curiosity away from us. And the curiosity
Music
stems from
licensing
question.
reimagined.
When we're curious about things, we question things. And most of the times those questions get shut down, or they get booed, or they get laughed at by your peers, and that causes you to stop being curious. That causes you to stop asking questions. That causes you to stop wondering about things and just go along and just try to figure it out on your own. So now you're in this isolated state to where you can't learn what it is that you need to learn, because you're taking more time to try to figure it out on your own. Because you need questions, and there's nothing, and this is not to say that there's nothing wrong with doing your own self-analysis and self-study, but there are just some questions that you need answers to from a different source. So I say this to say we need to develop and cultivate more curiosity. We need to be able to ask more questions, right? We need to be able to discover and explore more about the things that we're curious about.
Music
right?
licensing reimagined.
This is the equation I came up with. Curiosity plus questioning equals understanding. Right? Curiosity plus questioning equals understanding. A lot of us go through life and we don't have a proper understanding of what it is that we're doing or what it is that we're pursuing. I've been there before. But that's only because we're not asking questions. Why? Because there's a stigma that if you ask questions, you're going to get laughed at. If you ask questions, you're going to look dumb. If you ask questions, that means you don't know. Wait, isn't that the point of asking questions? Because I don't know? Isn't the point of asking questions because I want to know? Matter of fact, isn't the point of asking, matter of fact, just the art of asking questions speaks to your level of intelligence, which speaks greatly, right? Because a lot of people nowadays don't ask questions. They don't question things. They just go along with the go along thinking that's cool, but it's not. It's not cool to go along with a system that doesn't have you in mind, that isn't in favor of you. And the only reason it's not in favor of you because you don't ask questions. You don't question it. So we say this, it's like, okay, well, they ain't say nothing about it, so I guess it's all right. They're going along with it, so cool. But the moment you start asking questions, now you're a radical. I'm not radical, I'm just curious. I just want to know. Like, this just doesn't make sense. I want to know what's going on. So you have to be the one to ask the question for the masses.
Music
because I guarantee you everybody
reimagined.
else has the same question, but they have that stigma that, oh, if I ask this question, I'm going to look dumb, crazy, or radical. But that could be furthest from the truth. But here's the extension on top of the equation I just gave you. Curiosity plus questioning equals understanding times evolution which equals enlightenment. Right? So once you have a level of understanding, it times, it 10x's, it multiplies your evolution. Once you have a level of understanding, it multiplies your evolution because now you're growing. Now you're asking questions and your questioning is getting better and better and better, which means your understanding is getting better and better and better, which means you're coming to an even higher level of enlightenment. See how all of this just plays in effect? And it also goes into the 4 modes, right? Because the 4 mods in the learning mod, where you're intentional, where you're focused, you're asking questions, right? You're asking questions, you're being inquisitive, you're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're trying to understand, not trying, but you are understanding what it is that you are studying, right? So as you're asking questions, you're going back and reviewing what it is that you previously reviewed. You're asking questions. Now you're coming to a level of evolution, right? Now you're coming to a level of enlightenment. Now you're coming into a higher level of understanding. And all of this, all of life's purposes and goals is to just understand better. That's what I've learned along my journey. The whole purpose of life is just to understand better. Understand better. Ask better questions. Be curious. Be more inquisitive, right? To not be afraid. Because I promise you, the brave are the ones that stand out the most because the masses are afraid. The masses don't want to ask questions. The masses rather just go along with what's going on and don't ask, don't learn. And it's not their fault. It's just the system that we came up in. This system did not feed into the imagination of our society, of the people who may have had high imaginations, but they got snuffed out because, why? Because they were put in institutions. They were institutionalized, right? They were taught to sit straight. They were taught to, don't talk back, don't ask questions, just read, just review, and just remember, right? Just focus on creating a better memory. Don't focus on
music licensing reimagined.
Asking better questions. Don't focus on understanding better, right? Just memorize this, copy it, and you get a good grade, right? You know what's funny? Back in the day, cheating off of somebody else's paper would have got you in trouble. But nowadays, cheating is the cheat code to evolving in life. Isn't that crazy? I can't tell you how many times I learned from other people's mistakes and I evolved to the next level. Now, mind you, I made my own mistakes as well, and I've learned from those. But there are just some things that I avoided so that way I didn't have to make the same mistakes that somebody else has already made. They made the mistake for me so I can learn and I can evolve and grow to the next level. We cooking today, boy. Ooh, we cooking today. But you know what? I'm gonna end it right there. I might do a part 2 to this because this was really good. I was not expecting it to go this way, but I'm so thankful and so grateful it did. All praise to the Most High, right? Thank you, God, for being with us today, for being in the room, for being in the space, and for allowing us to learn and grow and evolve.
Reimagined.
And I also want to thank you. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Thank you for allowing me to be on this journey with you. And I truly believe we do better when we grow together, so let's continue to grow with one another. And if you found this helpful, inspiring, or motivating, or insightful in any way, shape, or form, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Click the notification bell to get notified whenever I publish another video. And as always, you are appreciated. Check out the websites. Check out the links in the description. Look for the new merchandise, right? What's the best that can happen? I tell you, and I'll tell you again, it's a mantra that I truly believe in because what is the best possible outcome for us? We can always see the bad that's going to happen in our lives, and we can just like, boom, know instantly, like, okay, this is not going to go our way, or this is not going to work out. We know that. That's how we're programmed. But what do we reprogram ourselves to say, what's the best that can happen? What's the best possible outcome? How can I benefit from this? how can this work in my favor? This is what it stands for. And if this is something that you stand for, then go buy some. Also, you can follow me on my various social media pages, like Fanbase, TikTok. You can follow me on Instagram too, and Facebook. Everything is at paulaze_Anthony. paulaze_Anthony. Remember, your thoughts are your currency. Remember to share what it is that you are
Music
currently
licensing
involving yourself
reimagined.
in. Because that's where the evolution lies. If you're comfortable with doing that, and even if you're not, I promise you, we do better when we grow together. So don't be afraid to share, because your thoughts are your currency. This has been another thought exercise with Paulaze_Anthony. Until next time. Do y'all like that thought exercise? It's really wordy, but let me know if y'all like that thought exercise. This has been another thought exercise. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, peace and love.
Artlist.io